are we all here tonight? All right, let me get situated here. I love all of you. All right, I just got to do one more. Somebody else is having a hard time getting in here. Welcome, Heidi. You made it. I'm so glad. All right, you guys, I could just sit here and look at your faces all night, but I should probably get started. So I'm gonna mute everybody again. Kelsey, if you could just keep, when people come in, just keep muting all, that would be great. Super excited. I literally just want to get up and do a little jig right now, but I'll refrain. I don't want to start out by embarrassing myself. Wow, this has been like an amazing lead up, and then you're all showing up, and it's literally like a dream's coming true. That's what it feels like. My soul sister, Kelsey, that amazing creative genius that does my website and all my graphics and helps me post all my stuff. She's on with us tonight. We've literally been, for the last several weeks, listening, crafting, creating, really trying to align with what sovereignty is to make this come alive for all of you. So I have lots of intentions for tonight, but first I'm going to share why I created this free masterclass, and I'm going to be honest with you. I resist and hate more than anything having to promote what I do. It's the hardest thing for me to do. I just want to hide. I just want to sit and meditate. I just want to sit and wait for people to call me up and be like, can I work with you? I'd be like, yeah. But life doesn't work that way quite yet. Hopefully we're getting there where we can just sit and meditate and attract it all in. So that's why I put this together, because in a couple of weeks, my 6-month program starts. And I thought, I want to give people an experience of what it's about. I don't want to sit and talk about it. I don't want to over promote it, which maybe I already have, but I want people to sit for the next 90 minutes, sink into yourself, sink into the teaching, whatever the process, whatever your jam is tonight, find your sovereignty, and then make your decision from there. One of my dear sisters last week said to me, it's attraction, not promotion. I love that. It's about attracting. I don't want to push. All I want to do is sit here with all of you, share with you this amazing creation that we've created the last several weeks, put you through a nice process. And at the end of it, you're a full body yes or a full body no. There's no limbo. Because when you're in limbo, you're not in your sovereignty. When you're in your sovereignty, you're in your strength, you're in your power, you're in your knowing. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. All right. For the next 48 hours, because you guys showed up, I am offering a discount for the 6 months. So we'll get more into that at the end. Not too much though, because I don't want to, it's just tough. So, I will do a little Q&A at the end if anyone wants to stay after and ask questions. I can walk through the application process. I will do that at the end. So we'll just check in at the end and see if that feels good to anybody. So my intention tonight is to get out of my own way and open up to that greater universal intelligence to come through with clarity, with grace, with insight, with teachings, with sovereignty, with anything and everything that's going to support each one of you to feel and embody your own sovereignty. what the hell is sovereignty anyway? How do you spell that word? Do you know how many times I've had to spell check that word? Why did I choose sovereignty? If you look up in the Webster dictionary what sovereignty means, you'll see supreme power, you'll see royalty, you'll see monarch, you'll see all these, like, oftentimes it's associated with government. But what I'm talking about tonight is your sacred sovereignty. It's really your higher sacred self. It is your divine connection. It is your true power. And what I want to explore a little bit tonight is are you leaking some of that out? Are there holes in your field? Are there rips and tears in your sovereignty, in your space that you're not even aware of, that are actually depleting you of your sovereignty? How do I get that back? How do I know if it's happening? And that's more of what we explore in the 6 month, because I use the Koshas as a platform. A lot of you might be like, Koshas, what? They're layers or bodies. I like to think of a Russian doll when I talk about Koshas, how you have the big one, then you take it off and you have another one, take it off and another one. That's what Koshas are like. It's layers, bodies. Most of us only relate to this physical body. Most of us, we take really good care of it or we don't, whatever. But I wish people would spend as much time on all the other bodies as they do on this physical one. Going to the gym, doing yoga, eating healthy, all that great stuff, wonderful for your physical body. What are we doing for our energy body? What are we doing for our karmic body, which has all your ancestor relations within it? What are we doing with our mental body, our mind? How are we keeping that healthy and nourished? What are we doing with our wisdom body, our intuitive knowing? And when those bodies are healthy and vibrant, we're in our bliss, we're in our natural state, we're in our sovereignty. So hopefully we're going to have time at the very end, after you guys have gone through the whole process. And I'm going to have one of our sisters speak about her experience from the last 6 months, just so you get a little idea of what it might be like. So, like always, I'm going to really ask you to set aside all that you think you know. I know a lot of us on this call tonight have been on the path for a long time. We know a lot. We've experienced a lot. We have a lot of sovereignty, but I just want you to set it all aside, hang it up, and really try to kind of give yourself this sacred space for the next hour and 15 minutes now to go in and to listen. And I might ask you to do things that are going to stretch you out of your comfort zone. Even if that mind comes in and says, I don't want to do this, I'm going to please beg you to just try and do it. Because what I'm putting you through is a process for you to feel and experience your own sovereignty, your own higher sacred self, your own true power. Okay? But a lot of times it requires us to kind of tiptoe out of our comfort zone a little bit. A lot of us get too comfy. We have all the excuses. The mind comes in with all the limiting beliefs that keep us feeling safe. I'm just going to ask you to push it out a little bit tonight. All right. Biggest challenge is we get too stuck in our heads. It's as if we have a head and a body and they're two different things operating. Let's try to bring it all together tonight. Our bodies, our minds, our spirit, all of it together, to be in our sovereignty together, to be connected. All right. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. And if this really makes you uncomfortable, you can even turn your video off, and I'm going to ask you to turn it back on when we're done. I just want you to stand up. Have your feet about hip width apart. Close your eyes.
Infinite space.
Feel your feet planted on the earth. Bend your knees. And literally just start tuning into the music. You don't have to even do anything. Just listen to the music.
When you will meet yourself.
And see if you can let the body just start to move to the music, just doing whatever it wants to do. Maybe you want to shake your hands, shake off the day, kick your feet around a little bit. We're kind of resetting our energy right now so that we can be really present for the next hour and 15 minutes. In order to do that, we got to get out of our heads. We have to get into our bodies. So don't force, just kind of let the body do what it wants to do to the music, swaying, shifting, closing your eyes if you haven't. Keep feeling the earth, feel your toes. Don't forget to breathe, deep breath. Feel your arms, maybe pick up your arms, your shoulders. Maybe rolling your head, your neck. Shaking off the day. Shake it all off.
Bound by neither
Keep
mind
breathing.
nor thought.
Keep feeling the floor. Keep feeling the earth.
Slowly, gently, you slip
Shake
into
it out.
infinite space.
Dance it out. Move the body. Maybe turn around. Maybe take a couple of steps. Maybe kick a leg in the air. Bend your knees. Maybe lift your arms up over your head. Do something you wouldn't normally do. Nobody's watching. Keep shaking it off. Keep shaking off the day. Inviting all of you, all of your energy to be here. You've been scattered all day. Bring it all in. Bring it all home. Take some deep breaths. Maybe exhale through your mouth. Maybe even make a sound when you exhale. Shake it out. Shake it off. Feel your feet. Feel your breath. And now just stand with your feet hip width apart, a little bend in your knees. Palms open, out, extended out from your body. And just feeling your breath, feeling the energy in your body, feeling the sensations. Keeping your eyes closed. If you want, just slowly come back to sitting, either in a chair, sitting cross-legged on the floor, and place your palms over your thighs, facing down, and just close the eyes and feel, breathe. The reason why we do asana, yoga, movement, is so we can drop deeper into meditation, a meditative state. It makes it easier. So let's just sync up our breath a little bit. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths here together. And I'm going to count the inhale and exhale. This might be the first deep breath you've taken all day. So just invite in a slow, steady, smooth breath. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just go back to normal breathing, letting the body breathe you. Noticing if the mind has gotten a little more quiet, what's already shifted for you in your body, in your mind. And setting an intention for yourself and for everybody else on this call to have an experience of your true sovereignty, to really feel it, knowing it's your divine birthright. It's your freedom, it's your power, it's true liberation, your sacred sovereignty. Nice full deep breath in, exhale through the mouth. One more time. Exhale through the mouth. Let's just do that one more time. Space, opening your eyes. There. Nice. Thank you. Thanks for doing that. So now back to why sovereignty. Why did I pick this word that's so hard to spell? I'm going to refer to sovereignty tonight with a capital S and with a small s. Sovereignty with the capital S, again, it's your higher sacred self. It's presence, it's grace, it's God, it's creator, it's nature, it's light, it's connection. When we're in our true sovereignty, we're living in our truth. It's really easy to be present. But if you think about our world today and the chaos that we're living in, starting with the macro, think of our global family, this outer reality that all of us have co-created together. All of us are putting into it. The pandemic, COVID, vax or no vax, the politics are like insane right now. Racism, insane. The wars that are happening still that never seem to be ending. I ask myself, does religion actually create connection or does it create separation? Mother Earth and how she's kicking and screaming. The fires, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the earthquakes. A lot of people might say, that's history, that's normal, it's what happens. Is it? The glaciers melting, polar bears not having anywhere to survive. Yeah, that's happened in the past, and you know what's happened from that? It's a new world is what happens. It feels to me that we live in a fear-based reality, that at our foundation is fear. If we were living in a foundation that was love and peace and connection, we'd be in our sovereignty. So we go from that global knowing of our reality that we've all co-created together, and we bring it into the micro, to me, to the individual. What am I contributing to this global? What is my inner state? Is there fear? Do I make decisions from fear? Do I make decisions from insecurity? Do I make decisions out of resentment or anger or shame? Am I feeling lonely? Do I compare myself to other people? Do I feel like I have a low self-esteem or low self-worth? We have more anxiety and depression in our world than we ever have, ever. Again, some people might say, no, we don't actually. We're just keeping better track of it. I don't know about that. I really don't. Why do I bring this up? Because again, it's important for each of us to see what we're contributing to humanity, to the collective, to the whole. That's why it's so important for each one of us to be in our sovereignty with a big S, to be in that divine grace. But we're not. A lot of times we're not. I would say most of us probably don't go through our day-to-day lives feeling and owning our sovereignty. Why is that? Maybe because we're compromising our values. Maybe it's because we're compromising our boundaries. We're doing and saying things that we actually don't really want to be doing, but we're doing it because we want to fit in, or we think it'll feel good, and then we do it and it feels horrible. Maybe we're compromising our physical body. We're not taking care of it. We're pushing too hard. We're trying to do too much. We're not giving ourselves the time and space to do what we know works, to come back into that sovereignty. Maybe we're compromising our energy. Again, we live in this chaotic environment that it's easy for our energy to get depleted. Are we pulling back into that little cocoon of sacred sovereignty, sacred space, and fueling ourselves back up, giving our energy what it needs? Or are we compromising it? What about our families? Are we compromising our families? Are we, being the best daughter we could possibly be, or the best spouse, or the best mom, or the best dad, whatever it is, or the best partner? A lot of times we're not. We're compromising to keep the peace, to agree with what everybody else is doing, to agree with what everybody else is doing, right? I mean, there's so many people that call me up right now in tears because they're feeling forced to do things they don't want to do. All over the map. Why are we doing that? Because we're not in that big S sovereignty. We're not in that strength and that power. We're in that little S. What is that little S? I bet you can guess. That little S that we, a lot of times that little S, the way it shows up, it actually can feel like you're really powerful, but it's not true power. What kind of power is it? Being dominating, right? When we get really big and loud and I'm powerful. That's what a lot of us, I think, could relate to power as being. What is that though? It's your ego. When we refuse to be dominated, when we become the victim, we become submissive, we become quiet, we retreat, we don't speak up, we don't stand up. That's ego, which is a toughie, right? When you're a victim, it's hard to say, really, that's ego? The need to be right is ego. Always trying to make your point, always trying to make the other person understand, always trying to make sure, no, but just if you just listen to what I'm saying, you'll see that and you can finish the sentence, I am right. I still do it. I still catch myself probably daily in the ego games, trying to make the other person wrong. If I'm right, then you're wrong. Why are you wrong? I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I'm going to tell you why your beliefs are wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're doing that wrong, why you're not taking care of yourself properly, why you're not making the other person wrong, small self. Then we do everything we possibly can to keep that small self alive. We want to it wants so badly to survive. It wants to run the show. It wants to think that it's in charge. It even tries to tell us that, no, I'm the big self. I'm the big sovereignty, the big S. But it's not. How do you know that it's not? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. The last ego game that we play is we cover up. We hide who we truly are. We mask. We pretend. We try to be what the other wants us to be. We show up. I can go back in my life and look at times in my life when I would show up and be one way with one person and then show up and be a completely different way with another person. What is that? Like, who are you? Who are you really? Why do we do that? Why do we get stuck in those ego games? And it's because we've abandoned our true authentic self. That true authentic self is your sovereignty. But how well do you know that? How well do you know yourself? How much do you embody and live with all the gifts that God gave you? So I'm just going to have you close your eyes for a minute. Get comfy in your seat again. Just have your palms face up now on your thighs with your fingers soft. And just follow your breath. Follow the movement of your breath as it flows in and out. And ask yourself the question, where have I lost my sovereignty? Where have I given my power away? When did I lose it? Is it something I give away every day? Did someone take it from me without my permission? Keep breathing and just allow whatever arises. Just be with the images that might be popping up, the feelings, the emotions. Just allow it all to be there. Keep breathing. And remember, this requires you to be authentic and honest with yourself, to really own it. If we really want to step into our sovereignty and embody that, we need to own what's going on right now and see it. And if any of you feel called at any point to put down in the chat what came up for you, where'd you give away your power? Maybe it was taken from you. I ask people to share because when we share, it helps to start to break down those walls and barriers of us thinking that we're separate from each other. When we hear that another person went through something similar that I went through, it's literally like a deep breath of, oh, I'm not alone. This isn't so out there. Somebody else has experienced this. So just taking a nice full deep breath in and exhaling. And gently coming back into the space. Taking your time. And I'd love for anybody to share what came up. What'd you find? What little nuggets did you find? Thanks, Heidi. In my past relationship, gave away power. Heather, every time I don't feel good enough, shame, embarrassment, rejection. Thank you. Kelsey, I notice ways I've been in my small self S when I let myself slip into Thank you. Susan, expectation, mine and others. Jaima, the beliefs my mother programmed me with. Yeah. Megan, my loss of sovereignty is multi-layered. It was taken from me professionally, in interpersonal familiar dynamics, from ego games. It happens both consciously and unconsciously for me. Can everybody relate to this stuff? Sarah, thank you, your relationship. Fiona, relationships with men and drugs. Thank you, I can relate to that. All of us can relate to all this stuff. It's real. It's what happens. It's, I guess, part of being human. I don't know. I guess it's part of being human when we have lost our sovereignty, right? Jody, lost in my anger. Thank you, sister. It's a big one. Anger that so many of us are so afraid of. Such a powerful emotion. And yet it's hard for us to know how to channel it in a healthy way, right? I know it is for me. Julianne, relationships and losing my voice. Thank you. Katie, from trauma response to my ex-husband. So hard to have boundaries, especially when it comes to self-care. Doormat is comfortable. Yep, it is. Sherry, battle with food. Marianne, my loss of sovereignty stemming from pressure from my family on what job I should pursue, worried about judgment. All of us taking a deep breath and really just taking that's everything that everybody wrote, taking that in. And maybe it's not a personal experience, but I guarantee at some point in your life, you felt this. Dominique, my ego answers when I feel like I am not good enough, or when others make me feel I am not good enough. I have a hard time loving myself, but not really others. How many of us have a hard time loving ourselves, but not others? Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. We feel violated, we feel mistreated, we feel abused, we feel victimized, we feel our sovereignty has been taken from us. When we're feeling these things, are we in our connected space? Are we in our big ass sovereignty? No. So when you ask me, how do I know if I'm in my big ass sovereignty? Because you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling anger, you're feeling like you're a doormat, you're battling with food, your relationships feel codependent, you can't love yourself. That's when we know we're not in our sovereignty. Sovereignty doesn't need to defend. Sovereignty doesn't need excuses. It doesn't have to justify. It doesn't have to explain. It just is. Presence just is. There's no battling. It's literally a knowing. It's a trusting. It's an allowance of whatever is happening to happen. That's what being in your sovereignty is. It doesn't mean that you don't have a vision or an intention. That's not at all what it means. We have to have intentions. We have to have a true north. We have to know what direction we're heading. Why am I doing this? My true north, it's your inner sense. It's your calling. It's what you want to accomplish in life. It's how you want to show up in your relationships. Knowing where you want to go is important, but trusting the process, it's going to require you to get out of the small self and stay in your sovereignty. Trust and allow the process. It's really hard to do. It's letting go of what you think you know and allowing that which is greater, your sovereignty, to guide you to your true north. It might look totally different than what you thought. And I'm going to share a personal experience of just that. I know a lot of you from when I used to travel around. When I reflect back to the life I used to live 5 years ago, I used to travel around the world teaching, sharing grace, sharing sovereignty, being in like this really nice state of consciousness, a lot of times in bliss. Life just felt like a big bliss bubble. That's kind of what my reality felt like. I really felt like I was in my sovereignty with a big S. And then I got a phone call in 2017. They needed help in Las Vegas. There was a big shooting. We need people to come in and help support the first responders. Can you do it? And I'm not going to get into the details of the miracle of me being able to do that, but it was a miracle. Of course, I'll be there. I thought it would be temporary. I thought it would be a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. I'll do that, and then I'll just go back out into my traveling the world in my little bliss bubble, right? That was my true north. That was my vision. But some might say that God had a different plan. What was that plan? For me to fall in love with somebody who eventually landed me in Las Vegas? Wait, what? Las Vegas? I kicked, I screamed, I resisted, I fought. No, not Las Vegas. No. I need to be in my bliss bubble. All my insecurities, all my judgments, all my deepest, dark little hidden shadows that I hadn't yet shined the light on, the bliss on, came poking out. And I was in my small S sovereignty, my little ego. I thought I knew what was best for me. No, I'm not going to be in a relationship. I'm not moving to Las Vegas. No. But it persisted and it happened. And so I landed. I was in love. I literally felt myself slipping back into the matrix, back into being this human, right? That's in relationship, that's grounded in her body. So what I thought was my true north was to travel back out into the world and be in that bliss bubble, visiting all my friends, doing events. And what the bigger plan was for me to, no, you're going to get in a relationship now, which is going to be the fastest way for you to grow. You're going to land, you're going to ground, you're going to live in Las Vegas. And 4 years later, however many years it is, looking back now, oh my gosh, it was such a divine orchestration for me to keep growing, for me to keep healing, for me to keep seeing, for me to keep doing what I need to do to stay in my sovereignty, in my big S self. Would I have ever planned that for me or guessed it? No. Did I fight it? Yeah. But I didn't fight it to the point where I didn't do it. I trusted, I allowed, I knew that there's a bigger something in play here, and I need to listen and trust and allow. And literally, it's brought me back into my bliss bubble. That's how it feels. The problem with most of us is we won't admit our truth. We won't admit our insecurities, our fears, our hurts, our pains, our trauma. And what we do instead is we play around in that small self, the egoic self, thinking that, I got it all figured out. I know how to control this. I'm going to do this and make it happen. And not really from that place of sovereignty with the big S, paying attention and listening. So I'm going to have you close your eyes again. Palms face down on your thighs, fingers are soft, nice full breath. And I want you to answer this question of, what am I afraid of? What am I running away from? What am I afraid to face? Am I afraid to hurt somebody? Am I afraid to abandon myself? What am I afraid of? And again, as this gets clear, at any point, just feel free to take a deep breath and come back out and put in the chat what's coming up for you. What are you afraid of? Giving it a voice, owning it, being authentic, being honest. Sarah, thank you. Afraid of being lonely. What else? What are we afraid of? Marianne, procrastinating too much and not achieving all my dreams. Thank you. Jaima, I'm afraid of failing. Who's not afraid of failing? Kelsey, I realize I'm afraid of my worthiness to be loved unconditionally. It's all here. I want to just let myself receive it fully now. Amen, sister. Katie, I'm afraid of failing my daughter. I feel that, sister. Sherry's afraid of worthiness. Heather, I'm afraid to face that I'm not the self-image I've created in all the ways I keep it intact. Yes. Sarah, afraid of making the wrong decision. Leela, afraid of not embracing your power. Yeah. Heidi, I'm afraid of my own power, that I won't be able to hold it all. Such a truth for so many of us. Megan, I'm afraid deep, deep, absolute trust, but not as much fear as 6 months ago. Pat, I'm afraid of finding bliss. Thank you. Leela, not embracing my power. Nicole, I'm afraid he'll think he won. Thank you, sister. And for what? What are we holding on to? Right? Who is it hurting? Julie, being vulnerable and showing vulnerability. Jody, afraid of seeing so much pain and suffering in my family and in the world. It feels like it'll bury us. Julianne, afraid of seeing so much pain and suffering in my family and in the world. Oh, Jody, Jody said success on my own terms and breaking with ego identities. They're so strong. They feel like they're real. They feel like they're you. Susan, I'm afraid of being too big and powerful and then facing the rejection of those that matter to me. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. It helps so much. Deep breath. I'm going to share one more example of being in my small sovereignty, small s, and large S. And it's when I found out my mom had Alzheimer's and the amount of fear that came up, the fear of the unknown, the fear of what would happen, the fear of am I going to end up with Alzheimer's, the fear of how am I going to take care of my mom. All this fear is psychological fear that I'm making up in my mind. And what good is it doing? We need to know when there's a snake in the room to run. Biological fear is real. That's why it's there, for us to have a reaction and we take care of it and we run. But this psychological fear, tell me what good it's doing. None. None. So being with my mom who has Alzheimer's, it's been one of them, it's been such a beautiful journey with her actually. But it's literally like a case study on what I'm sharing with you tonight about being in my sovereignty or being in my ego, my small self. Because I notice that when I'm with her, when I'm in that connected place, I'm filled with grace, I'm super present. My mom can act, behave, say, do things that most people would be like, oh my God, did that hurt? Are you okay? Mean, angry, defiant. There's no hurt, there's no resistance to what she's doing because I'm in my sovereignty. There's not even a thinking like I'm in my sovereignty. I'm just present. I'm connected. I'm not being protective. I'm not being defensive. I'm not indifferent. I'm just in grace. And then out of nowhere, there's moments when tears burst and all of a sudden this starts, the thinking starts. And I can connect and feel this younger version of myself that's afraid of being left, that needs to be held, that needs to be listened to, that needs to be cared for, that needs to be loved, that needs compassion. All of these things start to pop up. That's creating a story in the mind, thinking, which is the small egoic self, thinking. That breaks me down, takes me out of my big ass sovereignty. I cry, which is good, but I don't let myself stay stuck there. As soon as all of that kind of emotes and works itself through me, I come back into that big S sovereignty of connection, of presence, of grace, of knowing that I'm being held by something so much bigger. And calm courage emerges. That's where we want to be, is in that space of calm courage. So how do we do that? How do we shift from being in the small self back into the big self, the big sovereignty? We accept whatever is happening. We allow whatever is happening. We ask for grace, and it's there. How am I supposed to know how it's supposed to turn out? I can have my true north of what I want. I have to leave the rest up to grace. When we do that, when we bring our awareness to our sovereignty, there's a new energy, a new vibe, a new feeling. You're aware of it. It puts you in that state of focused yet relaxed awareness. So you're really present. It's like your senses are kind of heightened. There's a higher intelligence that comes in with really great ideas. Life feels effortless. And your brain's limbic system, it's in that safety, rest, digest place. It's not in fight, flight, freeze. It's not in fear. You're just calm. You function better. You're more productive. You're more clear. So this is being in our true sovereignty with a capital S. Okay. So now I'm going to put us through a process. And I just want to explain a breathing technique that we're going to do in the middle of the process so that we don't have to come out. And I know a lot of you have already done this, but it's called Ego Eradicator. And I chose it because we're talking about the ego. And it's not about getting rid of your ego, thinking it's negative and bad. It's about, is my ego making use of me, or am I making use of my ego? Am I from my sovereign big ass place now making use of my ego to do what I needed to do? Or am I just at the whim of my ego and all over the place? Anyway, so Ego Eradicator, you're going to touch the tips of your fingers to the pads of your hands, and your thumbs are going to be pointing up. And when I tell you to go into this posture, we're going to do it, but I'm going to guide you through something else first. But the full posture, your arms are up like this, elbows are really straight, thumbs are plugged into the sky, okay? Chin's tucked back, you're sitting really tall and your eyes are closed, and you're pulling the gaze right between your eyebrows. I'll guide you through all of this again. So that's the posture. And then we're going to be doing breath of fire. So it's rapid breathing done in and out through your nose. And I like to tell people it's like blowing out a candle with your nose. So the inhale will automatically happen. The exhale is forceful. So it sounds and looks like this. If you're pregnant or have heart problems, I'm just going to ask you to do long, deep breathing. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to do this breath of fire when we're doing ego eradicator, because we're going to be clearing our space. All right. So for this process, you guys, it's going to require you to be real with yourself, to be authentic, to maybe look at parts of you that you've wanted to shove aside. It's asking you to be in your big S sovereignty. Okay. And I'm going to guide us through the first 4 koshas, first 4 layers, the physical, energy, karmic, and mental bodies. We're going to contemplate a little bit. We're going to do ego eradicator. We're going to cut some cords from all the people, places, things, attachments, belief systems that are not serving us. We're letting it go. And then we're going to go into a beautiful connection, meditation, interconnection. All right. You guys are doing awesome. Thanks for staying with me. So just get comfy in your seat. And again, I'm going to have you close your eyes. And just become the observer of your mind right now, just watching it kind of wander off. It might already be on to the next thing you're doing after this class. Try to bring it back to the here and now, back into the present. And at any point, if you feel called to write something, you can in your journal, but really just try to stay inward for this process. This inner space, getting quiet. Taking some nice full, deeper breaths. We're going to start with the physical kosha, the body. Your physical body. And start by understanding that you have a right to exist in this world. You have a right to be comfortable in your body. So just notice how you feel in relation to your physical body right now in this moment. Is there judgment, criticism? Do you hide? And think of a time in your life where maybe you gave the power away through your physical body. Have you used your physical body to get something you wanted? To feel love? Just be aware of what's arising, what's coming up. Take a nice full, deep, cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now shift to your energy kosha, the energy body. It's your magnetic field, it's your aura. And again, understanding that you have the right to exist in this world. You have the right to feel freely. So now shifting into your energy body. It might be heat, it might be coolness, it might be vibrating, buzzing, humming. And again, notice, when have you given away your energy? Maybe a friend, a colleague, a family member, somebody that you're just always giving your energy to. How does that feel in your energy body? It might be when you go have lunch with a friend and you come back and you feel exhausted. What's happening? What's happening to your energy? Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Shifting now to the karmic body, your action body. It's where your ancestral lineage resides. As you look back 7 generations behind you, where's the power been taken away in your lineage? The loss of sovereignty. Is it rape, suicide, addiction, abortion, eating disorder? Where's that power been taken in your lineage? Take another deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now shifting to the mental kosha, the mind. Again, remembering that you have the right to think freely. Yet when have you felt powerless in your thinking? You felt forced to believe in something that you didn't want to believe in. It wasn't even your experience, and yet somebody's pressing this belief system on you. Or you felt you had to think a certain way. When have you felt powerless in your thinking? Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Staying inward. We're now going to move into the practice Ego Eradicator to clear our space, to clear our energy, to call in our true sovereignty with a capital S. I want you to feel what you feel right now. And I want you to feel what you feel when we're done with this. So hands, tips of the fingers touching the pads, thumbs straight up. I'm going to set a timer. Arms are straight up, elbows are straight. You're sitting tall, chin tucked back. Your gaze is right between your eyebrows. Take a nice full deep breath in. Exhale the breath out. And then we're going to start breath of fire. Keep going, stay with the breath. Keep those elbows straight, arms are strong. Calling in your sovereignty. Calling in your true power. Not the small self, not the ego, the true power. Breathe it out. now take a deep breath in and hold the breath. And bring the tips of your thumbs together above your head and spread your fingers wide and reach the hands up. Stretch the side body, holding the breath. Reach. And as you exhale slowly, I want you to swipe your arms down, clearing your magnetic field, clearing all the space around you, clearing your energy, palms face down on your thighs, meditate. The more you exercise your spiritual sacred sovereignty, the more you stop running away. You learn to master your mind, your emotions. You stop running away from your life purpose. You start taking ownership. Life becomes easier, more effortless. So feeling your sovereignty now, feeling it ignited, owning that when you're in your sacred sovereignty, you decide for yourself, you know what's right for you. You respect other people's opinions, you respect traditions, and yet you know what's right for you. So now connecting into your heart space, right in the center of your chest, I want you to feel a growing presence. Again, asking for the experience of your sovereignty. I want to feel my sovereignty, my power. And so we're going to cut cords, ties, attachments with anything or anyone that's no longer serving your highest good. Anything that feels like it's taken away your power, we're letting it go. We're going to release it. Again, this might be out of your comfort zone. Just try to trust me and stay with the process. Stay connected to your higher self. I'm going to guide you through the whole thing. But first, I now want you to envision this beautiful golden egg, a purple egg of light around you. It's vibrant. It's like if you could sit behind yourself looking down at you right now, you're sitting in this purple egg of light. It's your higher sacred self. It's that energy, your sovereignty. You feel safe. You feel sacred. You feel your sovereignty. You're connected. And now you're going to take your dominant hand above your head. And you're going to take a full deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, you're just going to swipe your hand down the front of your body, all the way down, as far down as you can, asking your higher self to cut all the cords, ties, attachments to all the people, places, things that are not serving your highest good. And we're going to repeat it 2 more times, holding your dominant hand up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, swipe it down, cut all the cords, ties, attachments that are not serving your highest good. Feel them release. 1 more time, dominant hand up, deep breath in. As you exhale, swipe it down, cutting all the cords, ties, and attachments that are not serving my highest good. I release them, I let them go. Take them from me, and then sit with your palms face down on your thighs. And just breathe. Feel the lightness. Feel the weight coming off your shoulders. Feel that heaviness disappearing. You're breathing in and out sovereignty. You're breathing in and out power, breath, prana, life force. Stay in your heart now. Stay in your heart, right in the center of your chest. Take a nice full breath again. When you're ready, I'm going to ask you to gently place both your palms right in the center of your chest. Feel your chest rise and fall with each breath. Feel the sacredness. Feel your sovereignty. Invite the softness, the sweetness, the tenderness. If something feels like it wants to release, let it go. Let it go. Just be in the space of connection, of grace, of love. Feel that connection within you. It's in you. Feel your sovereignty. Keep breathing. Stay with it. Stay with whatever's coming up. Let it out. Let it go. All you want in you now is your sovereignty, your true power. From the space of connection, from love. And now you see this beautiful ray of light coming from your heart. And just notice the texture of the light, the quality of the light, the brightness of the light. And as you breathe in and out, see that light get brighter, shinier, more radiant. And now you're going to invite in your family members as if they're all sitting in front of you right now. And I want you to notice the light that's coming from your heart go into their hearts. Notice the quality of that light. Is it strong? Is it still radiant? Are you still in your sovereignty, or is it dropped? It's okay. Just notice or ask yourself, why did it drop? Keep breathing. Just allow, trust, stay open, stay connected. Keep seeing that light coming from your heart. And now you're going to call in your partner, your kids, all that are near and dear to you. And again, you're going to notice your light coming from your heart, going into their hearts. Is it still strong? Is it still radiant? Are you still in your sovereignty, or is it dropped? It's okay if it dropped. It's okay if it's dim with some of the people. It's okay. Just breathe. I just want you to notice. That's it. You don't have to change it or do anything. Just see. And now call in your healthy and healed ancestors and notice your light going from your heart to theirs. Again, is it strong? Is it vibrant? Is it radiant? Are you still in your sovereignty? Or is it dropped? Just notice. Keep breathing. Take a nice full breath in. And exhale, release the hands, palms face up in your thighs. And now just see this huge, huge radiant golden light of energy in and around you. You're encased in this huge golden bubble of divine light, of grace. And just be what you are. I am sovereign. Same with whatever's coming up. It's now important that we integrate this energy into our bodies. Best way to do that is to move your body. So now I'm going to invite you to slowly get up. Slowly stand up again. Feet hip width apart, bend your knees. Keep feeling your breath and just feel the body and let the music move you again. Again, whatever feels good to you right now. Shaking a little bit feels good. Raising your arms up, maybe rolling your head, your neck. Feeling the earth underneath you, feeling grounded. Calling in your sovereignty. You want it in your cells. You want it in your body and have it radiate out from the inside. So move the body. It's going to help integrate the energy. Move your shoulders. Maybe kick your feet a little bit. Move your hips. Make sure your knees are bent. All right, now really move the body. Shake it up. Invite that sovereignty inside. I want to feel my sovereignty. Shake it out, move it out. Breathe. Keep breathing. Radiate your light. Shine it bright. And then slowly just come back to standing. Stand with your knees hip width apart and place both your palms again right on your heart space in the center of your chest. Eyes closed, bend your knees. Feel the earth. Feel your toes. Feel your breath. And repeat after me. Me within me is the purity. Me within me is the reality. Me within me is the grace. I am the master of the space. Slowly coming back to sitting in your place. Once you sit down, again, just closing the eyes. Feeling the vibration of the song.
May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you, and the pure light within
If it feels good to bring your palms together right in front of your heart space again. Feeling your sovereignty. Taking a nice full deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands down. Taking your time to gently come back into the space when you're ready. Welcome back. Would anyone like to share? You could I have to think here for a second. I have to ground. You know what? I'm just going to have Jennifer. Jennifer did my 6 month last year, and I just want her to share a little something from her experience. And I'd love any of you to share. You can email me or text me or call me and let me know what your experience was. I want to be mindful and respectful of everybody's time and try to end as close to on time as possible. So normally I'd love to just open it up right now, but I'm going to ask Jennifer if she unmute and share.
Hi, everyone. This class it wasn't just life-changing, it was life-saving, life recovering too. This time last year, I had recently split with my husband of almost 20 years, and I was a hot mess. This class, I learned so much about myself. Catherine took us through like all the layers of your body and where all your hurt and trauma and where it's all stored and how it shows up. And it all made so much sense, and it helped me heal. It helped me learn who I am. It helped me ground. I feel like it's been about 6 months since our class ended, but I just feel like I have a whole different view of the world. I interact with people differently. I feel more aware. I actually wrote some notes of some things I wanted to make sure I said. I'm not reactionary so much anymore. I'm not living out of fear and anger. And one of the biggest things is I feel worthy again. I don't know the last time I felt like that. I feel like I love myself, and I can really like show that love to other people now, including my kids and other family members. And Catherine gave us so many tools like meditation and some kriyas, and we did a lot of journaling, and it was so effective, the journaling she had us do, because it wasn't just like, oh, just write what you're feeling. She had actual direction and things to contemplate and think about. So it was effective. And then we would, we had our classmates, I guess, and we would share with each other, and you really draw on other people's experiences. And, sometimes you're like, well, I don't know how to answer that question, or I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then somebody will say something, you're like, oh, yeah, me too. And you learn how to be vulnerable and really it was amazing. It's one of the best things I've ever done for myself was to take this class. So I feel like I'm figuring out who I am and I'm excited about my life again. So I could go on and on, but
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I really appreciate that.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for showing up and doing it all. I really appreciate it. Awesome. Jody, I would have had you share too. I didn't realize you were on. I don't know if you want to, but I didn't realize you were coming on, I should say. Don't feel pressure if you don't want.
I could. And Jennifer, you look completely different. You're smiling. You look really happy. I was in the same class with Jennifer actually, and it gave me a base to go even further than Catherine's class, and the base with the Koshas and some Sanskrit and the knowledge of those areas that I've touched on in my life before, but not in depth or for that long, has spurred a chance to do some other processes that I probably wouldn't have done. And my perspective now, or my complete shift of not being in my head and in my mind, is I almost can't compare where I was 6 months ago, certainly a year ago. The shift is absolutely life-changing and profound. And the 6-month course was a way for me to stick with things for that long, instead of saying, oh yeah, this is good for 2 weeks and then be done. So thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Jennifer. It's good to see you both.
Good to see you too. Thanks, sister. I really appreciate your sharing. All right, beautiful people. I had an amazing time with all of you, and we'll be sending you guys an email with a recording of tonight and a link with a discount. If you sign up for the 6 months in the next 48 hours, there's a link with a discount. We'll be emailing you. If anyone has questions about it or wants to be walked through the application process, you can stay after, and I'll stay here to do that with you. I'll just do it on Zoom and walk you through it. Or if you have any questions, just stay on and ask. It starts in 2 weeks. So I love all of you so much. I'm in such a sovereign state right now, and I really appreciate all of you showing up and doing this work and trusting me and saying yes to you and to your healing and to your sovereignty. Kelsey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you all. Stay on if you want to chat. Otherwise, I hope I see all of you somewhere sometime soon. Namaste. All right. If anyone has a question and they want to unmute, you can.
That was so beautiful, Catherine. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Julianne. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right. Anyone have any questions?
I'll ask Catherine, because I wasn't really considering doing this again. Maybe I am a little bit now, depends a lot on schedule. Is the content basically the same, or have you tweaked some things from last year?
It's a good question, Jody, because the foundation of it's going to be the same, but I sit down every week and connect into my sovereignty, and things change. So I'm sure it's going to be different. And I don't know if it was Susie or Jennifer that I told, but I've done a program like this twice, like finished it and I went ahead and did it again, which seemed crazy to me when I did it. And yet I'm so grateful I did, because it really took it to a deeper level. So if you're interested, let me know and we'll talk. I'd love to have you again.
Catherine,
Yes.
thank you for tonight. And could you just walk us through the format? Is it like once weekly, every other week? What is the meeting format?
It's once a week, Wednesdays from 5:30 to 7, same as this. And over the holidays and stuff, we won't be doing it. The last time we did it, I actually did 3 weeks on and then a week off, thinking that, people need a break, and it broke it up. The energy builds, and you actually miss that week. You're like, no, I need it. So it is every week. People definitely miss classes, but I record them and I send the recording. And the home play, I call it home play. It's homework every week, and the practices. And I know for a lot of people, 6 months is like, oh my God, that's long, but it goes by pretty quick. And you get some one-on-one time with me, and it's, yeah.
Great.
Did that answer
Thank
your
you.
question? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? I love that you guys just you stayed on to hang out. Yay.
Feels like old times. I can't let
Doesn't
go.
it? I want to go.
I can't.
Susan, I see that you're on. I don't know if you meant to stay on, or if you, and John and Marianne and Marlene. I don't know if you guys. See. Oh, you're making dinner. Okay. All right. Jennifer, were you going to say something else?
I do need to go though.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye, Jody.
Bye, Jody. Bye, Jennifer.
Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Love you.
Love you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, sweetie. Bye, Marlene.
Hi, sis.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I was crying and I don't want to put my camera on.
Oh, I'm glad you
It
had a
was
great week.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I really need it. Julian, give me the password. Well, the link.
Julianne
So,
gave you.
yes.
Good. Good. It's good to
So
see
nice
you.
to see you.
You too. I miss you.
Me too, sis. You should learn Spanish now.
Do what in Spanish?
Everything Spanish.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Let's do it. You want? All right.
Many people need juices
We need to what?
to work in ourselves,
Yeah,
you know?
I do know. Oh, I know.
These past months, I've been depressed and with a lot of stuff.
Sweet.
Maybe it will be a good idea to join the 6-month class.
I would love for you to join it, sweetheart. Oh, we'll make it happen for you. If you want
But
to do it, we'll make it happen.
the timing is like the same, right?
Yeah.
Today, as today, for
Yeah.
7:30 to 9 for me. Okay.
It would be so good to come together once a week with people. It would help.
Yes,
And
I will ask for it.
okay. Don't not do it because of money, Marlene. It's just, if you want to do it, tell me and we'll figure it out. Okay.
Okay. So I will write you back. Okay.
All right. I love you.
Thank you so much for everything. Love you so much.
Tell mom and grandmother.
Thank you, sis.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.